so focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. But untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's empowerment in session. I know this is a little bit different. We don't normally come on Sunday mornings, and I probably won't be on here very long, but I just felt again this urgency. And those of you who are empathic, prophetic, clairvoyant type people, then you understand this time of year as we are approaching the end of this particular season. That, you know, if you're like me, then you are having your sleep pattern just kind of all over the place and out of whack. Multiple vivid dreams and visions and visitations, as well as you're transporting to different times and spaces and receiving just an abundance of a download. You know what? Really, the word download is probably not the more accurate term. More of an upload. Yeah, an upload from within, from the divine omniscient spirit that you are, that is within you, uploading into your conscious awareness and making you more aware and enlightening your perception, your view, your understanding of things in a manner that you had not, and even being premonitions or predictive about events that are to come, that are yet unfolding. Um, and we understand from, you know, our studies together that when we talk about the prophetic, or we talk about those things that are unfolding, that we are speaking purely from a human perspective, because, of course, God has no past, has no future. Everything simply is and always has been, simultaneously occurring across the multiverse, at the, you know, in front of it, around it, and through it. And so when we speak of seeing things that are yet to come or that are unfolding, what we are really doing is looking into the possibilities, one or a few of the infinite possibilities of things unfolding in a certain manner from the perspective of the divine. And that's not what I came on to talk about, but just, you know, clarifying. And so if you are one of those innately, intuitively prophetic, premonitions, clairvoyant, psychic persons, and please again don't get hung up and stuck on semantics, because all of those things are the same thing. It's just a semantical term. um, then during this period of time, you know that your sleep cycle's been thrown a little bit, and and you are having all kinds of encounters that are happening. Let me see if I can turn this music down a little bit. It seems like it might be a little bit loud, and I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. I'm gonna hop over to the comments. Yeah, is that better? Can y'all hear me better? Because I don't want the music to overpower the conversation and what we're talking about, even though I really like the music. uh, okay, okay. Thank you, Dee Dee. So, um, so yeah, you've been encountering that, and during this period of time, Um, I spoke about this once before. I think it was either last week or the week before I came on while I was driving around, and spoke very briefly about this coming year, about 2022, and the need for some real self examination, to look inward. And so I want to kind of press that again, because I really felt the urgency and the unctioning of the spirit to really address that issue again. and see if I can impress upon those of you who are listening the imperative, the importance, um, how essential it is that you take advantage of this period of time to really be mindful, to go inward and do some real in-depth self-examination, and to examine everything across the board, to examine it for what continues to serve you and what no longer serves you. We are perpetual, evolving beings in this earth. We are constantly in a changing, evolving, evolutionary state of being where we are both being and becoming at the same time. That's the nature, that's part of the nature of our being, our existence as unique divine reflections or expressions of God in the earth, that we are consistently evolving and becoming, that we are, while we are being, we are becoming. While we are being and resonating and experiencing and living, each of those moments in the eternal moment of now results in our becoming and evolving and unfolding. It results in the unfoldment of our greater, highest self. What that means is, what the implication of that is that everything that we are comfortable and consciously aware of and embrace or reject in the now does not dissipate or disappear. And as we evolve and become, those things may no longer serve us in their present form. But because all form, and please pay attention to this, because all form is energy, and energy is eternal. That is to say that it can neither be created or destroyed, then it does not disintegrate or disappear, because we have matured or evolved and emerged to a place where it in its present form no longer serves us. What we tend to do, and what we are encouraged to do many times, especially in religious circles, is to disregard and discard and throw away those things that we discover no longer, those things, those relationships, those persons and places that we have discovered no longer serve us. But because everything is energy, then when we discard it, it does not dissipate or disappear. It just remains on what I will, in an analogous say, becomes the trash heap of our life experiences, and that we store those experiences in our memory. But ladies and gentlemen, here is the thing about memories. Memories are just mental, psychological stories that we tell ourselves based upon our perception at any given time. Let me say that again. Memories are just psychological, emotional stories that we tell ourselves based upon our perception at the time. Have you ever had a memory that was so vivid, that was so clear, so entrenched and ingrained within your psyche, only to find out later what you thought was a certainty never happened? I have. I was talking to Dee Dee this morning. She has. We were both discussing that we have these vivid memories of events or experiences that if you would have asked us at a different time, did that happen? We would have absolutely sworn up and down, yes, absolutely, positively, I remember this. Only to discover now, years removed from it, that either that experience has been warped or completely made up. Yes. You see, everything that we experience in life, actual experiences, is determined and interpreted by us based upon our perception at the moment. But perception is a fluid thing. It is not set in concrete. Perception evolves and changes as we evolve and change. And so, what you have perceived in one way in that moment, some years, weeks, or months removed, you may view it completely differently. David is recorded to have said something like this: "It was good for me when I was afflicted." Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews says, no chastisement at the moment it's being given seems good. It is grievous, yet it yields the peaceable fruits of righteousness. What it's basically saying is how you perceive it in the present moment does not necessarily solidify how you will view or perceive it years down the road. You look back on it and you recognize that it was not as you perceived it to be at that moment. And the more time that passes and the more you evolve and grow, the more your perception of the event changes. Did the event change? No. But your perception, your takeaway from it has changed. And in some cases, you begin to discover that the event never even happened. That somewhere along the line, your psyche, soul, created out of whole cloth an event that, for whatever purpose, served you at the moment. And later you discover that it never really happened because it's no longer necessary for the person you've become. I know this is sounding like paradoxical. So if there any part of this you don't understand, please say something and ask questions, and I will try and restate and explain it the best I can to you. But perception is ever shifting. And so this is why I'm saying, as you prepare to enter into this coming year, this coming season, that you take the time to re-examine everything in your life, your past experiences, your thought process, your beliefs, your ideas, those things that have been your truth. Because they have been your truth for the moment does not mean that they are an ultimate truth, and that truth may not evolve as you evolve. You are a constantly evolving being, both being and becoming. And your perception, which forms your truth, is the substratum of your truth, shifts with your maturation. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So to go back in this moment and reevaluate, rethink, re-perceive it, and begin to look at it from what we call hindsight, which they say is 2020, but it's still not 2020 because where you are now, you won't be next year. And where you are next year, you won't be the year following. And where you are, and so on, and so on, and so on. So you are constantly reevaluating in the rearview mirror so that you are able to look at what was and see it in a new light. Number two, that because everything is energy, it cannot be destroyed. Those things, no matter how much you dismiss them, dispel them, they don't cease to exist because of your dismissal. And if they are left ungoverned on the trash heap, trash pile of our life, they become like the proverbial burn pit, releasing toxic fumes that eventually have a cataclysmic effect on our lived experience. I was watching an interview that Jon Stewart was doing with veterans who have been serving in Iraq and Iran in these wars, the Gulf Wars, and they were talking about these burn pits where they would take all of the trash, human feces, body parts, old Jeep parts, other things that they thought, were no longer useful, and dig this huge pit and throw them in and then cover them in jet fuel and light them on fire to destroy them, to get rid of them. But the flame, the smoke rather, that would come up from the pit was filled with the toxins from the things they tried to destroy. Oh, did you hear what I said? And so veterans found themselves years removed, having left their tour of duty, now out of the military, and yet now years later, developing different cancers and lymphomas and sicknesses and diseases as a result of the toxins that came out of a burn pit of junk that they wanted or tried to discard and destroy. And it made me begin to think and draw the correlation between the same things that we do with those past experiences that we view as trash because they were traumatic at the moment, painful, that they caused some discomfort, dis-ease. And so we are taught to annihilate them, discard them, and destroy or try to destroy them. But because everything is energy, it cannot be destroyed. You essentially light a burn pit that does not have any immediate effect, but the fumes from it over a course of years can come back and cause a dis-ease. Yes, a psychological, emotional cancer that has its origin in the pit of the things that you were trying to destroy and dismantle. And what occurred to me is that we are not to destroy those things, but to recycle them. Had they recycled them, that means we would have then recreated those things and put them into a form that is now useful. Recycling says, I'm going to take what is considered trash and refurbish it into a different form that is useful for me again. And when I have gotten the full use of it again, like the bottle or the plastic, I can recycle it again for a different use that serves me. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It is the understanding that it is not for me to try and destroy those old experiences, but to recycle them. That is, transmute that dark matter, dark energy into a form that serves me in the eternal moment of now. Yes, that it was good for me when I was afflicted, that this serves me now. Without that, there would be no this. That I am taking that and reforming it, transmuting it into a structure that will serve me in my higher, greater, more enlightened and evolutionary state that I'm in. There is a principle that is purported to have been spoken by Jesus when he says that you cannot take new wine and put it into old bottles. And so the assumption has been that you discard the old bottle in exchange for the new. But we understand that bottles can be recycled. And so that old bottle can now be transmuted into a form, a vessel that is considered new, that can accommodate the new wine. What I'm saying to you is those old experiences and systems that existed in your life that you have now outgrown, don't discard, but transmute and recycle them so that you are able to create a form or vessel or system that serves you, with the understanding that you are constantly evolving. And so eventually this system will become obsolete as well. But I already have the raw material to transmute this system and create a system that will serve me in the next phase of my being. Are y'all following me? Are y'all following what I'm saying? That I'm not going to leave it as a burn pit emitting toxins that will eventually poison me, but I'm going to transmute or recycle it into a vessel or a system that can be used again in a different form that serves the person that I am being at this moment, with the full understanding that who I am being is not who I am becoming. And as I become other than what I am being, I am able to transmute what is into what is necessary to support who I'm becoming. That I never have to go back and or have to rather create out of whole cloth a new system. I can take the raw material, of what I've already originally created and transmute that so that it serves the greater purpose of who I am becoming. Good gracious, Lord have mercy, that just clicked in my head, that this mirrors the pattern that God initiates in the creation narrative when it breathes into this form the breath of life and it becomes a living soul. There is no record of God breathing again. But when it was time to put in place another system, it reached into the old system, drew from it, and created a new system that would prop up the evolution of the old. Woo! A new system called Eve that would support, be the helpmeet of the old evolving system called Adam. Woo-hoo! My goodness. And so it puts in place a pattern for us that we don't destroy, but retransmute. We recycle. But you cannot transmute, you cannot recycle what you are unwilling to look at, examine, scrutinize, or face. And so I'm telling you that as you come to the end and the close of this Gregorian year and prepare to enter into this next season, time, and space, that you take the time to re-examine old systems, transmute them, recycle them, reshape and reconstruct them into form that will serve who you are becoming. Why is this so vitally important? And I'm through. It's because I am sensing, knowing, intuitively knowing that as we approach these coming weeks into what we have termed the new year, that opportunities are going to explode all around you. And if you are not mentally, emotionally, perceptively prepared, then you will misperceive opportunities and see them as an attack or as trash. Woo! Did you hear what I said? I'm telling you that in these closing weeks, entering into what we have termed the new year, opportunities, infinite opportunities for you to experience and be and do and feel and discover and uncover are making themselves available to you. But if you have not done the necessary work to examine, rethink, scrutinize, and then transmute that old energy system, dark matter, into form that presently serves who you are becoming, you will misperceive opportunity and call it a devil, a demon, an attack, or a trap, or some other hideous name that does not apply, because you are trying to view a present a present opportunity and unfolding through an old lens colored by a misperception that no longer serves you. You perceived it in a certain manner at the moment because it best served you. Maybe it was for your survival. Maybe it was the only way you could handle it, the only way you could navigate the trauma. And so you established a trauma doctrine. You established an idea, a navigational map that you would follow to navigate through the moment. But now the moment has passed. And that map, that doctrine no longer serves you. It now hinders you. And now is the time to not destroy it, but recycle, transmute that energy, and create a system that is specifically designed and innovated to serve who you are becoming. Can you feel me with both hands? Are y'all understanding what I'm saying to you? All what 10 of you that are on now, can you understand what I'm saying to you? Is it getting through? I want to make sure you comprehend it clearly. Okay? Oh, that's good. Oh, that is so good. Let me put Theresa Winston's comment up. She said, you have to clear your garden so you can pluck up the things that have died and replant those things that serve you now. Because every plant you pluck up has the seeds of causation within them. When you pluck an apple, it has the seeds to replenish itself in it. The orange, the eggplant, it has the seed within it to replenish itself. Whoa, that's good. That's good right there. That's really good. Thank you for that contribution. Absolutely. And so I'm encouraging you. What is this? Let me look real quick. November the 14th, as we are approaching the close of this Gregorian calendar year, as we are approaching the end of a season, as we are approaching, well, I don't want to get into the astrological piece of it, but we are moving into another house. I'll just say that much, and for those who know, you know, that you are prepared to now begin to look again, rethink, re-examine, and then transmute, recycle, reshape all those old experiences, thoughts, ideas, memories, those stories that you are telling yourself, because you do realize your memories are fluid. Y'all do know that, right? Your memories are fluid. You remember this today, and as time goes on, you start to remember things differently. You start adding things that weren't there before, or taking away things that were there before, or having a different perception of a different outcome of it, because your memories are fluid. That's why eyewitness testimony is the most unreliable testimony there is. because you can have three people in the same room all perceiving the same event, and every one of them have a different perception. You can have three children grow up in in the same house with the same parent, having the same experience, and yet every single one of them perceives that upbringing differently, because your perception and memory of it is fluid. And so one child says, "You remember when X, Y, Z?" And the other one's like, "That never happened. I don't remember that." "Yes, it did. Yes, it did." "No, that never happened." Or, "That's not how it happened. It happened like this." "No, it happened like this." "No, it happened like, no, it happened like this." Because everyone has a different perception that is shaped by their own psyche in a manner that best serves them at the moment. None of them are wrong, or all of them are wrong, but all of them are viewing it through the lens of the perception that their soul generated in order to make sure they were able to navigate through the moment in a manner that best served them. All of them in the same house, all with the same parents, are all of us on the same job, are all of us witnessed the same event, but all of us took something different away from it and describe it in great detail that doesn't match what the others who were there experienced, because our memory is fluid. And so what I'm asking you to do is to go back and re-examine those memories, those experiences that led to those things that are your beliefs and values right now. Anything that is founded upon truth can handle scrutiny, examination, and questioning. So never be afraid to question even what you have held as your truth or your values, or what you have just said, "This is an absolute." Never be afraid to go back and re-examine and question it and see, how did I arrive at that truth? And given the lens of my matured, evolved perception, would I arrive at the same truth again? Or has that now evolved with me? Woo! Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Is it registering with you? Okay, I've already been on here way longer than what I had planned on. I was going to do 30 minutes and be through, and it's already been almost 45 minutes now. But getting an understanding is the most important thing. I want to make sure that I am drilling down and that I am having an impact, and that what I'm saying is resonating with you. Because this is what's going to help you to clearly perceive the multiplicity of opportunities that are about to bombard your life. I'm talking in every area and every facet of your life. Opportunities for change, for growth, for evolution, for prosperity, for increase, for abundance. Opportunities that will change your life forever if you can perceive them clearly and correctly, and able to recycle old energies and create systems that will support the divine expression that you are becoming. Yes, you have systems in place to support the divine, unique being you are being. But you are responsible for putting in place the systems that support the divine being you are becoming. And you have all the raw materials you need from all the experiences that you had. You just have to draw and recycle or transmute and take dark matter and dark energy and create form that serves you. Are you with me? That's it. Unless y'all have some questions, I'm going to get up off here. Questions or comments, any contributions, anything that you want to say, please go ahead. And before I cut out, I'm telling you, this music revitalizes me. I love having music play. There's something about music that just moves my soul. So, okay, well, I don't see anything coming up. Kamaria says she caught the last few minutes. Will we convene tonight? Yes, we will. I will come back on tonight at our usual time at 8 o'clock. Absolutely will. Absolutely will. So be ready, be prepared to jump back on with us tonight, because I want to talk a little bit more about this whole ideology around witchcraft, manipulation, and control, and draw a distinction between religious witchcraft and actual witchcraft, spells, incantations, chants, and so on. And I think it's important that we delineate between the two so that people really have an understanding. And I made a whole lot of my preacher friends upset with me because I called them a witch, based upon the religious Christian definition of witchcraft, which is manipulation and control. Well, who's more manipulative and controlling than religion and religious leaders? Whole nother conversation. We'll get to that tonight. But so yeah, we will definitely convene tonight. After I said that, it might not be nobody here but me and you tomorrow. After I said that, they might be trying to report my page and get me banned, but yeah, we will definitely reconvene tonight. Any other questions, comments? And you are welcome. You are absolutely welcome, Theresa. It's my honor, my pleasure. I'm humbled. Any others? If not, then I'm going to see you all tonight at 8 o'clock. Until then, make today, this entire morning, the best that you can possibly make it. Get outside, enjoy nature. If it's not too cold, it's cold up here, so I ain't going nowhere near outside if I can help it. But if it's not too cold where you are, get outside and enjoy nature. If it is too cold, find something else to do within the house while you're staying warm. Light a fire. That's nature as well, in the fireplace, and enjoy that. But make it a peaceful, restful, chillaxing type morning and enjoy yourself. And I'll see you tonight.
Thank you for tuning in. And be sure to catch us every Sunday at 7 p.m. for empowerment.
That we are a unique expression.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. for momentum.
The creation of God and the God who created him.
Once again, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. And we'll see you next time.